The Monsterverse, a world dominated by massive titans with the power to destroy humanity in an instant. In today's video, I will be spending 100 days trying to restore balance and bring back order to this chaotic realm. Some might think it's impossible, but I am here to prove them wrong. Will I succeed in bringing down the Alpha Titans? Well, let's find out. On day 1, I spawned on a random beach, not knowing where I was or what to do. But that feeling didn't last long, as what in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is this? A skeleton turtle? I'm pretty sure this turtle forgot to die. I tried riding him, but my man is very slow. And after I got off his back, I realized how ugly I made my character. Like, damn, he built like Rock's lost brother, Grapple. After scaring myself with my looks, I got down to business and started collecting the resources to craft the pickaxe and some clothes. Crafting the pickaxe and clothes gave me enough levels to craft other tools like a hatchet and spear. And after crafting those, I needed hide. And this turtle, he was looking thick. So I began attacking him. I quickly came to find out that that was a mistake. Wow. 2 minutes in and I already got my first death. And by the way, just to mention, I will not be keeping a total of how many times I die. Let's just say I die a lot. A lot. Getting back on track, I finally managed to kill the turtle. No one kills me and gets away with it. The turtle gave me plenty of hide to make myself some new and better tools. But before I do that, I harvested a beach whale that gave me more than enough spoiled meat. Using the resources I gathered, I crafted a better armor and a bow with a couple of arrows. I was set and ready to take on any titans in my way. As I was making my way to the cliff, I saw a Shrek-looking creature. Like, bro, what in the Methuselah is this? I decided not to tame this and instead search for something better. And to my like, I found some horses I can tame. And horses are one of the best first tames, as they are very versatile and easy to tame. But before taming the horse, my attention was caught by a green line in the sky. What was that? The only thing I could think of was it was a kaiju's health bar. I really wanted to go there, but before I did, I tamed myself a horse and named him Bluey. Yes, I named the blue horse Blue. Besides, what else was I supposed to name him? Optimus Prime? While searching for some water, I found this cave that I thought would be perfect for a starter base. It was well covered and had one entry point, which was perfect for me since no titans could surprise attack me. After setting up some foundation and a campfire, day 1 was complete. Day 2, technically day 1 nighttime, I began collecting resources like stone, thatch, wood, and narco berries so I could craft better tools. In day 2, I also cleared up most of the cave, freeing some space and giving me a lot of stone, which I used to upgrade my base. Things were looking nice. Metal was cooking, narcotics were crafting, meat was cooking, and life was good. I spent the rest of the day finishing up the base, and unlike a Minecraft base, I wanted this base to look nice. So I put a little bit of effort to it. I even did some engineering with these pillars, which, I'm not gonna lie, they look terrible. But by the end of day 2, I had finished my base and got myself some better tools. Starting day 3, I headed out to tame a flyer. As much as I loved my horse Blue, I think it's time for me to take to the skies and explore the Monsterverse. I was fortunate enough to find this level 95 cotton candy pteranodon, and it was enough for me. So after knocking it out, I headed home to make a saddle. But there, I saw another pteranodon, and just to be safe, I decided to tame 2. You never know if you need more than one, which was a good idea. By the time I went to the previous cotton candy pteranodon, he had already tamed, so I made him follow me back to base so I can craft him a saddle. I also crafted a Godzilla skin from one of the mods, and I had no idea what this was, and after putting it on, what in the Fortnite? I wanted to keep it, but I thought to myself, I was in the Monsterverse, maybe dressing up as Godzilla wasn't the best idea. So I took the costume off so I don't get jumped by any other titans, like Mechagodzilla. I also crafted the pteranodon skin, and after putting it on, I finally took to the skies. Now with the flyer, I could go anywhere, anytime, and the first thing I wanted to do was, remember back when I was taming a horse, what was that green thing? And it was still in the back of my mind and I wanted to explore. When I flew over there, I found nothing. I flew around and still nothing was there. Strange. What was that? At that point, my stamina was low and I needed to land, but as I was about to land, bro, what is that Ghidorah? Bro, what? Without hesitation, I ran away. What is that dragon? Bro, what is he doing, man? The Walmart Ghidorah started farting and spawned like 20 more dragons. Nah, bro, I'm good. I turned around as there was no way I could even fight this thing. Now I have to get away. I immediately went down and tried to use the giant trees and maneuver my way out of the area. To make things worse, this chicken decided he was tired, so I tried hiding behind this waterfall, but that's when I hit the water, dismounting me from my pteranodon. Things were not going well, but after getting back on my pteranodon, I ran. I thought I was clear, but I had a village of these dragons chasing me. One of the dragons puked at me or something, like, bro, what is this green thing on my screen? And I can't fly? But don't worry, guys. It kept getting worse as... What is that in front of me? Now, if you guys know that sound, you know I was cooked. After the green puke disappeared, I turned around and there he was. Mecha Godzilla. I had no idea why Mecha Godzilla was chilling in a random forest, but I had no time to question anything. I had to run. Luckily for me, the dragons got distracted by the mecha and I managed to escape. Bro, what is this? I left my house for 2 seconds and I was already attacked by 20 dragons and now a Mecha Godzilla? Nah, bro. The best option for me was to leave, and without thinking, I made my way out of the redwoods when... Ain't no way, bro. I ain't not there. A Hydra was just chilling there. To my luck, it didn't notice me and it didn't attack me. Going home would be the smart thing to do, but here in Godzilla Plays channel, we are not the smartest.
What number comes between 2 and 4, Beetlejuice?
25.
So I had the big brain time, and I thought if I could make the Hydra fight the Mecha Godzilla. Good idea, right? I got the Hydra's attention and made my way to Mecha Godzilla. After reaching Mecha, I was able to make them fight. But there was a small problem. These titans were so powerful that they barely did any damage to each other. And I wasn't going to sit here and watch massive titans fight for days. So I went home. After the day I just experienced, I needed a break. So I did a bit of farming and upgraded my armor and got better weapons. Finally, I was ready. Maybe with this crossbow, I had a better chance against these titans. This time, I was definitely not going to the redwoods. Instead, I went west towards the wyvern's den. Maybe, if luck is on my side, I could get myself a wyvern egg. And I still needed a high level pteranodon as they are great tame, and as fate would have it, there was a level 130. But next to it was a level 130 giga right there. And there was no way I was risking my life taming that pteranodon. Wait a second, do you see that? While I was looking at the giga in the corner of my eye, I noticed something. A level 2295 hazy Godzilla was just chilling there? But what is this? I didn't sign up for this. Now, I had no idea what Hazy Godzilla was doing, as he was standing still, not moving a muscle. Now, since it wasn't moving, I thought it was stuck. And maybe I could tame him. But there was only one way to be sure. I landed in front of it and shot the trank arrow. For a while, he wasn't doing anything. I ran as fast as I could without looking back. I nearly went to a whole different continent. I was too scared to turn around, so I kept heading west, where I quickly came to find out that the lands were infested with Zilla Jr. They were everywhere, terrorizing anything in their way. And the worst part of it all is that they hunted in packs, 3 or even up to 5. I needed to fix these. These creatures were ruining the planet, and I wasn't going to sit and watch. Well, maybe I would if they're Hazy Godzilla, but... you know, he's not doing anything to me. I slowly made my way to the waterfall of Teria, where I found a Ragonora. These terrifying kaijus prey on weaker dinos, destroying everything they touch. I really wanted to do something. I couldn't sit back and watch this kaiju destroy the environment like that. I landed on the edge of the waterfall where he charged me. I barely managed to flee. If I wasn't careful, this creature could have ended me with one swipe. I landed somewhere more safe and began shooting it. I guess I angered it with my arrows as it charged me. But since I was in a safe area, it couldn't really touch me. But unfortunately, my arrows were not doing anything. They were barely even scratching him. I would need 1,000 of irons to bring this beast down, so I didn't waste my time and continued my journey. The Monsterverse was far more dangerous than I thought. Not only did it have powerful titans like Mecha Godzilla, it also had baby skullcrawlers, fire-breathing dinosaurs, Zilla Jr. everywhere, and the worst part is I couldn't do anything to stop them. Later on my journey, I stumbled upon a Grand Canyon. Surprisingly, this area was peaceful. I mean, if you minus out the Spinosaurus killing everything and other dinosaurs fighting each other, I consider that a really peaceful. Bro, I'd rather take a Spinosaur than a Skull Devil Kaiju that could suck the soul out of his enemies anytime. After passing the Grand Canyon, I entered the Valley of Noir. There, I spotted a strange element, and it turns out to be Vast the False Titan. Before I could even get a better look at him, he ran away, but I tried getting closer to him, but that is when I spotted a scarier kaiju, Akuri. Now I know this name might sound goofy, but trust me, you do not want to anger this kaiju. And I think it's the best for me if I don't overstay my visit. So I left. However, as I was leaving, I saw a level 130 Pteranodon, and as scary as Akukiru or Vast the False Titan is, I really needed that 130 Pteranodon, as it was worth it. But something even more tempting caught my eye, a griffin. These magical beasts are very rare and very useful. I couldn't miss this opportunity, and I needed to tame the griffin. So after watching a very helpful YouTube tutorial on how to tame these things, make sure to check it out by the way in the comments, I built the contraption and was successful in trapping him. Now all I needed was enough trank arrows. I just had to pray for the best, so arrow by arrow, I kept shooting him. After some time, he was looking pretty bleedy, but I kept plowing him. And luckily, he went down just as my crossbow broke. Now all I needed to do was wait for him to tame. If Akuryu or Vastapal Titan decided to show up, I couldn't do anything to protect the griffin. So I prayed that they would leave me alone. On the middle of the night, the griffin tamed, and now since I didn't have any cryopods with me, I left my pteranodons there hoping nothing would harm them. And before heading back to base, I killed this level bronto to get some XP. After I leveled up my griffin, I wasted no time and went home. Now that I have seen what these titans and kaijus are doing, I was left with no choice but to bring balance, bring peace and stability back to these lands. And there was only one way I could do that. On day 13, I headed out to get metal, narco berries, and other resources which I won't bore you guys. Now while metal is smelting, I thought it would be perfect time to get some wyvern eggs, since I had a griffin and could outfly any wyvern. So I headed down to the volcanic pits. Before I even had the chance to get any wyvern eggs, I was attacked by a wyvern and got me down to half HP. I had to run away. I landed on a beach and healed up my griffin before continuing the hunt. As I entered the wyvern den for the second time, I found an egg. Finally I could... What? Level 20? Get out of here, bro! I'd rather fly a dodo bird than get a level 20 dragon. I kept finding low-level eggs that weren't worth the hassle. And as I was going to my last egg, a wyvern attacked me, so I had to fled back home. After failing my wyvern egg hunt, I started day 14 by expanding the base as I needed to smelt metal faster. So after placing down a bunch more furnaces, I farmed enough metal and loaded them up. Now since I had a lot of furnaces, I needed more wood and I headed out to grab some. And while farming, I spotted something strange. The skullcrawler. These invasive titans are very dangerous. Left untouched and they can reproduce and take over the whole island with their numbers. But luckily there was only one. I tried getting closer, but strangely he disappeared. I thought he went under the water, so I landed near the ocean and out of a sudden he popped up and bit me. This clever creature baited me in before attacking. But fortunately my wyvern survived with a sliver of health. I felt it would be best if I left it alone and went home, but it disappeared. Nah, you're not getting me this time. I think it's best I just go home. At base, I crafted a bunch of arrows and metal gates with bear tribe. This skullcrawler cannot go unresolved. I have to take care of it before it reproduces and comes to my base. So after greening up and getting all the right tools, I headed out. And you guys guessed it to where? To tame the Giga. Now, I didn't know if the Giga was strong enough to beat the Skullcrawler, but I had to try. After successfully trapping the Giga and killing any nearby dinosaurs, I began tranking him. And this Giga took a lot of tranks. After 203 crossbows, he was still not going down. 2 days has passed and this guy was still eating my gates. He might actually kill the Skullcrawler. But before we get carried away, there was a slight problem. All my crossbows broke. And if I go home to get new ones, he might teleport out of the trap or even despawn, which isn't good. But I prayed he wouldn't do that. So after crafting 4 new crossbows, I returned to him and he was stuck. Yes! I was so worried. This game's trolling me. No way, bro. After getting rickrolled so hard, I felt it would be better if I didn't trap him again and continued tracking him like this as it was working for some reason. I have no idea why he's so angry at my gates, but hey, I'm not complaining. But quickly, my luck turned around and the Giga attacked me for no reason and came with me. After tracking for a bit more time, the Giga started running away from me. Yes, this means he's about to get knocked down. We could finally tame this beast. After 3 days of taming him, Nope, never mind. This is the smartest Giga ever. Bro really baited me in. Now, just because I was slow, I didn't let that stop me. I was taming this thing one way or another. I put my griffin on the line, so I continued chasing it down and shooting it with arrows. I was getting close. I could feel it. The Giga was running away, but I still kept my distance. I thought I finally had him. Just as I said that, the Giga jumped into the wyvern's den and went to swim in the lava. Bro. At this point, I definitely was getting trolled. I spent 400 tranks, 3 days trying to tame him, and he burns himself into the lava? Nah. After what had just transpired, I landed on the beach and thought about it. At this point, I'm not gonna lie, I was feeling low. I wanted to give up, but then I remembered why I was doing this. I had a goal. I had to save the Monsterverse. So after doing my motivational dance, I continued the grind. On my way home, I noticed a really low level Skullcrawler and I felt like this was a perfect tame as he was low enough for me to knock him out, but still a powerful tame. So I pulled out my crossbow and began shooting him. Now trying to tame him on top of my griffin wasn't working as he kept moving around, and entrapping him wasn't an option. But to my luck, when I landed on this cliff, the Skullcrawler seemed to be glitched out and didn't move. This was perfect. Finally, after losing over and over, I could tame a Titan. Things were looking good when oh no, I quickly flew away, and just before the Skullcrawler could get me, I managed to escape. That was close, but if you guys thought I was gonna go home without taming a skullcrawlers, you guys are mistaken. I returned to my old strategy of shooting him while above, and although it wasn't the best method, this was the most safest. And besides, skullcrawler can't get me. He can't fly. What? No, this hurt. It felt like I was being punched left and right. But I guess that's what the Monsterverse does to the weak. So I had to become strong. After putting on a saddle on one of my pteranodons I tamed earlier, I made my way back to get my loot. After successfully retrieving my stuff, I looked at the skullcrawler and noticed something. His taming meter went up, and that is when I realized, you see, the skullcrawlers aren't like normal titans. The way you normally tame a titan is you knock it out and you put food in his inventory and he tames. But with these titanic monsters, you have to sacrifice your tamed dinos, and after they killed enough of your creatures, they get tamed. This changed everything. Instead of trying to knock them out, I began taming Triceratops as they were an easy tame and would be an easy sacrifice for the skullcrawlers. After knocking one, I began taming it. While the trike was taming, I tried my luck with wyvern eggs. I found a really good level 100, but I was killed by a lightning wyvern. Back to square one. Since my pteranodon died to a wyvern, I had to tame a new one, and after taming a couple, I made sure to breed them so that I would have extra good pteranodons just in case. Now that I had extra pteranodons, I headed back to the wyvern den to get my loot back and possibly retrieve the wyvern egg. And somehow I managed to do that. I didn't question it, maybe the dragons were asleep, but since I had the wyvern egg, I wasted no time and began hatching them. While waiting for the wyvern eggs, I hatched a couple of more pteranodon eggs, and by the time they were born, the wyvern eggs finally hatched. Now I just had to make sure nothing killed them till they grow up. At this point, my base was getting kind of crowded. 20 dinosaurs were living in a tiny cave. So I flew to the obelisk and crafted some cryopods to cryo my dinos. Now all I had to do was wait for the trikes to tame and my wyverns to grow so I could use them as sacrifice for the skullcrawler. With this free time, I decided to go on a little adventure. I still hadn't explored half of the map, so I geared up and went on an adventure. I wasted no time in stopping in the redwoods and made my way out of there as fast as I could. And after exiting the redwoods, I entered the desert of death. And very soon I would come to find out why it was called that. When I entered, at first there was nothing there, but after a little while I saw some beautiful crystals I had never seen. So after I approached it, okay, what? A Gojira spawned out of nowhere. Now after what happened before, I had learned my lessons on standing too close to titans, so I kept my distance. But this Gojira wanted all the smoke! He kept chasing me. Every time I think I lost him, he would come out of nowhere to chase me. I had no idea what to do. He kept chasing me. Oh, please leave me alone! I couldn't even fly far as my pteranodon kept running out of stamina. But after I entered this narrow crack, which he couldn't fit in, I took this time to think of an escape plan and let my pteranodon rest. This was it. I would fly as fast as I could without looking back. Let's go! I quickly flew out of there hoping he wouldn't chase me. But as I turned around, bro, why is he so fast? I couldn't run away, he was faster than me. If things couldn't get worse, my stamina was running low and I had to land somewhere. So I thought this cliff would be a perfect place to land, and he couldn't get me up there, right? It's way too high. Bro, no. At this point, I was so angry. But right now was not the time to be angry. I immediately respawned and took one of my other pteranodons and went back to get my loot. And on my way flying back, a cat grabbed me and ate me, bro. What is this game, bro? I couldn't give up now. I had the goal and I had to complete it. So after getting another pteranodon, I made my way to the desert and found my look. Look at this goofy Gojira. Who's still trying to eat me? After what I just experienced, I need to take a break from titans and from grinding. I spent the next couple of days farming and breeding the trikes I tamed earlier, and by day 30 my wyverns fully grew. When the wyvern fully grew up, I took one of them and went to tame a beaver, as gathering wood by hand was very time consuming, and after I quickly tamed him, I spent the rest of the days exploring. When I was heading home, I spotted an RG and wanted to tame him as they were great tames, so after knocking it out, I spent the rest of the days exploring and running into scary titans like the Hydra, which I didn't waste no time and ran away from. The Apex, the anti-kaiju Jaeger, and bunch more scary dinosaurs. After returning from my adventure, the RG finally tamed, and I headed home. Before going home, I saw the Godzilla standing there, like, what is he staring at? Maybe he was glitched out. It's been 30 days. To test it, I shot a poison breath towards him, and quickly found out he was very much alive and dangerous. I spent the rest of the day farming when a brilliant idea came to my mind. Instead of using the Triceratops to tame, which were taking forever, why don't I just sacrifice my wyverns, as they are very easy to get and I could get new eggs anytime I wanted. So after heading to the skullcrawler area, I got off and let them eat one of it. And it worked. I didn't get him, but he tamed a lot. He got all the way to 30%. So I took my other tracks and went there again, and after sacrificing them, it didn't do much, as they only gave him 2% each, compared to the wyvern that gave him 30%. So my theory was right. Wyverns are the skullcrawler's favorite food, and if I wanted to tame the skullcrawler, I had to get more. And that's exactly what I did. I grabbed my fastest pteranodon and went egg hunting. I didn't really care about the level, as they were going to be sacrificed to the skullcrawlers anyways, so after grabbing as many as I could, I went home and hatched them. While I was waiting for them to hatch, I got some resources like thatch, wood, narco berries, and by the time I came back, they were all hatched. And after putting on my meat in them, I headed out to get some silica pearls, as it was necessary if I wanted to progress. But things didn't go so well, as when I was getting some stamina, a skullcrawler caught me off guard and killed me. These titans were becoming a bigger problem than I thought. Eventually, I did manage to get some silica, and on my way back, I saw the scariest titan so far, Goliath. A hairy beast that looked like an SMP.
But what the hell,
Before heading home, I traveled all the way to the lake of Alaria and swam to the depth of the ocean to get more silica pearls and also black pearls, as they were crucial in taming these massive titans. But more on that later. After a quick metal run, I came home. By this point, most of the wyverns grew up, so this meant I could finally tame the skullcrawlers. I was about to go to the skullcrawlers then when oh no, they have begun expanding, invading and infesting other parts of the land. I had no choice to tame this one, as he was the closest to my base. After sending one by one wyverns, it was nearly full. I took my final wyvern and flew towards him. It was all or nothing. I was going to get him with my wyvern. With one bite, my wyvern was gone, but I was still okay. I was alive. However, I was knocked out. The skullcrawler, for some reason, was not attacking me. What was going on? And when I woke up, I realized why he didn't kill me. It's because I tamed him. All those sacrifices were finally worth it, as I had my first titan, the skullcrawler. The first thing I wanted to do with my skullcrawler was go and kill other skullcrawlers, but this would be very risky, as if I encountered a higher level than me, or if there were more than one, I could easily die. But to my luck, when I reached there, I saw a low level. I could easily take him. While fighting something strange, the skullcrawler got knocked out. Bro, wake up, bro, we're fighting! What, this guy's sleeping? But this fight was very useful. You see, it taught me something I didn't know about the skullcrawlers. The tongue of the skullcrawler contained a venom that puts your enemies to sleep. That is why I got knocked out when I was taming one. This would come in extremely useful later down the line when I had to tame bigger titans. Now coming back to the skullcrawler, since I couldn't tame him as they needed sacrifices, I killed him. When I returned home, I thought this would be a perfect time to go on a metal run, so I cryopotted my skullcrawler as I needed him for protection, and I took my RG and went out to the mountains. Now I didn't think much of it, it was a normal metal run. What could go wrong, right? While I was farming, I noticed a skullcrawler on top of the mountain that was preventing me from farming. So after Pokemon throwing my skullcrawler, I charged at him to fight when... Bro, what is this? What? Now for a second I thought I could take him on a fight, but after he started jumping like he was Spider-Man, spewing out lava out of his mouth, I was gone. Nah bro. While escaping, to make things worse, the skullcrawler wouldn't leave me alone, but I managed to escape. I was curious to see how strong this titan was, and after checking it, 41 million health? What? To put that into perspective, my skullcrawler only had 400,000. I do not have anything to do with this creature. I ran as fast as I could, and for a second I looked back and saw this kaiju jumping like he was in the NBA. Nah bro, I'm done, I'm leaving. But while I was running, I realized I left my RG there, and it still didn't die. I had to try to see if he's okay, and even possibly save him. So after scouting the area, Spider and Scissor seemed to disappear. Oh, never mind, bro. He's just taking a swim. I eventually found my RG and got on him, and flew. For the next couple of days, I remained in base. Ain't no way I was leaving the house when that thing's still around. But eventually on day 39, after things seemed to cool down, I left my house. Now ever since I knocked out the skullcrawler, an idea came to my mind. Why don't I tame titans using my own skullcrawler? So that's exactly what I did. I got on my wyvern and flew off to the desert. I knew exactly who I wanted to tame. The Godzilla. While flying there, a rogue anti-kaiju Jaeger grabbed my attention. I really wanted to kill one of those things, so after releasing my skullcrawler, I defeated him, but not after he put up a really good fight. I mean, my man was doing anime moves. There was also a plagued reaper that I killed. After that, I made my way to the desert where I found the Gojira. I wasn't sure if the skullcrawler could beat him or even knock him out, but I had to try. I didn't even have a chance to look at him properly when he began attacking me and charging at me. Well, I guess this was all or nothing. Surprisingly, the Gojira knocked out pretty fast. I mean, he barely did any damage to my skullcrawlers. Now, I didn't know what the Gojira ate, so I put in him some pride meat and hoped this would do the trick. And after a while, he tamed my second ever titan, Gojira 1954. We were slowly working our way up. I wanted to test out the Gojira's move and see if he was better than the Skullcrawler, so I cryopodded the Skullcrawler and went home with the Gojira. My path was blocked by a female Muto. This was a dangerous fight. These titans were powerful enough to cause damage to legendary Godzilla. I didn't know if Godzilla could take them on, but I guess we never know unless we try. Besides, we never run away from a fight! Except that one time, but you guys can't blame me, man. Who wants to fight something that looks like it belongs in the back rooms? After charging the Muto, I began fighting him, and the fight lasted quite some time. Now, I didn't know if I was doing enough damage, as the Muto didn't seem like it was hurt. I had to try something new. While she was distracted, I pulled out my Skullcrawler, and together we attacked. Surely now, a 2v1 we could win, right? And we did! The Muto did a great amount of damage to Gojira, and I wanted to see how much the Skullcrawler was hurt, and oh my boy, he nearly died! I quickly cryopodded him before anything else could attack them, and headed home. One of the reasons why I had trouble beating the Muto was because I wasn't familiar with Gojira's attacks, so after reaching home, I began learning his moves, and bro, how is this going to help me beat Titans? After mastering Gojira's attacks, I also wanted to learn Skullcrawler's attacks, and after learning his main attacks, I put him to sleep. You did well, buddy. Now take a breather. Day 40, I started off by farming, and guys, from here on out, I do a lot of farming. I mean a lot, so I might not mention it all, as it isn't very interesting. So if I begin doing something cool and crafting certain stuff, or if we jump a couple of days further, note that off screen I was farming, and I'm not talking about like Minecraft YouTubers. I actually did the farming, and I have the footage to back it up. Going back to the main topic, I still had a very big problem. I have 2 huge titans and still live in this tiny cave, and that has to change. So after farming, I began crafting the foundations to my new base. I didn't want to venture far from these lands as the location was perfect, and it was safe too. Well, safe enough for me. I also didn't want my house to be massive, just big enough to store all the necessary stuff. After doing some searching and thinking, I picked this area. This was perfect. This also overlooks the valley where I plan to keep all my titans in the future. So after spending 3 days of planning everything out and placing the foundation and building up the start of my main base, I eventually got bored and thought I needed to take a break. During my farming, I got enough resources to build a mega trank gun. This powerful weapon is designed to bring down titans, and it was very expensive, but after I crafted it, I was very eager to use it. So after getting on my Skullcrawler, who was fully healed, I ventured out in hopes of finding great titans to tame. On my way towards the redwoods, I encountered a fire demon who stood no chance against my Skullcrawler. After harvesting him and getting a good amount of element, I continued on my way, but not for long as I ran into Hedorah, a venomous colossal titan made up of Hedorium. This was a perfect tame, but I had to be careful not to stand too close, as he wanted to kill me. After moving further away, I got my sniper out and I was ready to take the first shot. I had to be careful not to miss, as one of these bullets were very expensive to craft, and after shooting him, I checked how much his torpor. I accidentally shot my Skullcrawler. I was nearly put to sleep! But after getting off, I shot at Hedorah again and checked how much torpor, and nothing? I could try again shooting him, but he was coming close to me and I thought it would be a waste. So I got on my Skullcrawler and ran away. Maybe Hedorah isn't like the normal titan. I mean, he's made out of trash. Maybe he's like the Skullcrawlers, different ways to tame this titan. But right now, I couldn't go back and I had to research on how to tame him. But before I could research him, I found something better than Hedorah. Mothra. At that moment, I knew what I had to do. Who cares about this broccoli titan of a Hedorah? We have Mothra over here. I couldn't let Mothra fly away. I need to tame her, so I knocked her out with my Skullcrawler. And if you guys remember, the Skullcrawler contains a poison that can knock out creatures, so I hope we can do the same with Mothra, and I was right. But unfortunately, Mothra didn't tame like this. Instead, I found out Mothra was a passive tame, meaning that you had to shove certain foods up her. Hey, yo! The food Mothra liked was called Mothra's Snack, and it was crafted by a variety of vegetables and other stuff, so I immediately began working on it. And after getting the honey, the sap, all the berries I needed, now all that I had to do was wait for my seeds to turn into vegetables that were required to craft the snack. And I even tamed dung beetles to speed up the fertilization process faster. However, one dung beetle wasn't enough, so to quicken the process, I tamed another one, and on my way home, a leatherback appeared right near my house. Nah, I couldn't let that be. I mean, I wasn't afraid as my Gojira could easily wipe him, but I still didn't want a titan freely roaming so close to my base. So after dropping the dung beetle off, I grabbed my Skullcrawler and went to kill him. After the leatherback put up a really good fight, he got knocked out. And bro, is he sleeping? I don't think he's in a vacation. Hey, yo, wake up! I wanted to kill him for the way he was sleeping and treating this as a vacation. But I thought it would be better if I tamed him. Not only was his food very easily to craft, but also he was very strong, dealing a lot of damage to my Skullcrawler. So after gathering everything I needed, I tamed him. The leatherback, the newest addition to my Titan collection. After checking out his roars and his abilities... what is this? Never mind, I shouldn't have tamed them. And I thought it would only be appropriate if I renamed him to Shrek. Now, the leatherback wasn't the fastest in the water, nor in land, and his stats weren't better than my skullcrawler, so I left him there. I'd rather stick using Brat for now. I spent the rest of day 47 working on Mothra's food and trying to figure out why my crops haven't grown. I started day 48 by farming and getting some resources before I put my attention to the crops. Why weren't they growing? I put so many seeds and so much poop in them, yet they still haven't ripened. While I waited them to grow, I decided it would be a perfect time to go farming, get some resources like stone, thatch, and flint. So I took the leatherback, as this would be a perfect time to see if he's strong, and he had a lot of weight. But on my way there, I was abruptly stopped by these skull crawlers. There was like 10 of them! I immediately went home. Ain't no way. Shrek was not going to kill 10 skull crawlers, but at the same time, I still couldn't leave them there. Who knows what will happen if I left them alone? They would have duplicated until they took over the whole world. I went home and got all my titans. This was it. I know we were supposed to tame Mothra, but I cannot let this problem go unsolved. I put everything on the line. We were either going to wipe out the skullcrawlers off the face of the planet or die trying. After whistling everything to follow me, we reached there, ready for battle. I knew I had to play this smart, so I began killing one by one. If we focused one skullcrawler at a time, we could easily kill them. And after the first two skullcrawlers, my own skullcrawler was getting low, and all I could do was watch Godzilla and Leatherback kill the rest, but disaster struck. The first one caught me off guard. He jumped from underground and spat on me. I couldn't see anything, but thankfully I managed to escape barely alive. While I was on the brink of death, barely trying to survive, this guy was still trying to kill me when he has two titans killing him. Yo, you got wrong problems, bro. What's wrong with this guy? After we killed him, I didn't risk going back there as I was very low. Instead, I went home to regenerate, and maybe later I would come and finish the job. And I think this will definitely slow their process of breeding. But after a full days of fighting, I finally reached home and bro, I nearly died and this crop is still not growing? How is killing a titan easier than being a farmer? I still didn't know what was wrong. I thought maybe the plants just needed a lot of time to grow, so I left that be. Now, while my crops were growing, I focused my attention to something else. To tame better titans like Shin Godzilla, Space Godzilla, or even regular titans like Millennium Godzilla, I needed Element, a rare resource harvested by killing demon titans or by boss battles. Trying to get Element by raw golems wasn't the best idea, as not only they gave very little, but also finding these creatures was hard. So that leaves us with another option: boss battles. And how hard could it be killing a dragon and a manticore, which is like Mufasa's long lost sister, as Godzilla? I think you guys know where I'm going with this. So after I spent the rest of day 49 collecting all the artifacts and all the resources I needed to start the boss battle, by day 50 we were ready to conquer them. I slowly made my way to the obelisk, and for good luck, Godzilla had to hit us with his iconic look. But before starting, I made sure to cryopod my Gojira, as I was scared he wouldn't fit in the teleporter and I would just teleport alone. With him being in my hand, I could just throw him out anytime and he would be ready to fight. And this was it. We were going into the boss battle in 5 seconds. The moment I teleported to their domain, I wasn't afraid, as I knew even though I was on foot, I had the strongest titan on the palm of my hands. All I had to do was to unleash him. Bro, please. Oh, what have I done? Oh, please, get me out of here. No. I tried running away and even attempting to enter this house. Let me in, please, let me in. Mufasa, we can talk about this. Yo, Simba is right over there, please. I tried running, but once again, my stamina ran out and I was killed. I was defeated. Gojira, no. For a reason that I had no idea about, you could not use cryopods in boss battles, rendering my Gojira useless. Not only did I waste all the time farming those artifacts, but I also lost Gojira too. I respawned at my bed, disappointed, ashamed, and defeated. And these crops still not done, bro! Oh my, what is this world coming to? I wanted to give up. I tried even drowning myself, but I remembered something. God, you're right. I can't give up now. I will defeat everything in my way and bring down even the biggest titans if I have to. I may just be a man, but I never back down. Never give up. I was going to defeat these bosses and nothing was going to be in my way. So I began crafting the armor and weapons and got my skullcrawler and went to Pirate Bay. You see, I figured in the boss arena, titans were not allowed, as, let's be honest, it wouldn't be fair. But what if they were baby titans? To be more specific, baby Zilla. These creatures weren't titans, but they sure had the strength of one. Surely these will work, right? So after taming a bunch of them, using my skullcrawler to knock them out, they all tamed and I sat on the alpha and made my way home. Now I didn't ride my skullcrawler, as these Zillas would get stuck every 5 seconds. And I couldn't cryopod them too, as there were too many. So by foot it had to be. And besides, Who is strong enough to defeat the army of Zilla Juniors and a whole Skullcrawler? Well, I would find out really soon. As I was making my way home, I realized something. That our path was covered by the Skullcrawler den. Instead of going around this mountain, I by mistakenly took this path leading me straight to them. I tried quietly sneaking my way around them without being seen, but this was one of the dumbest ideas I've ever done, as they began attacking us, not only from the back, but also from the front and the sides. There were too many of them. Oh no, no, no. It started one by one. My Zillas began to get killed. I had to fight. There was still a chance I could get out of this. No! No, I died. I had to get back there and try to get my Skullcrawler, who was still alive at that point. So after respawning in the closest spawn, I rushed back. And when I rushed there, is this my Skullcrawler? I tried getting on him, but I mistaken my Skullcrawler for a random wild one, and I died. No, 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 I could not let this happen again. I just lost Godzilla. I cannot lose Skullcrawlers and the army of Zillas. After respawning, I rushed back, but I was too late. No, they were all slaughtered. Wiped clean, their bodies eaten till the bones. Everything was gone. Everything besides these monster Skullcrawler. I will kill you. All of you. I will wipe every last one of you. You hear me? I will destroy every one of you. Ah! With a mission in the back of my mind, I began grinding. First thing I did was make my armor back and cryo my pteranodons. Out of my 3 titans, 1 was left. And he was even the worst one. Leatherback was slow and a bad swimmer, and I'm not gonna lie, he wasn't that strong. And I couldn't tame Godzilla with this Leatherback. I needed something better. I needed a level up from this. I needed another Skullcrawler. And I know these guys just wiped out my entire existence, but I can't lie, these guys were useful and I wanted one bad. After getting a couple of wyvern eggs with my pteranodons I just uncryoed, I began heading home when I spotted the Mothra. Oh my, I completely forgot about her. This reminded me, how were my crops doing? You see, I was so distracted with the whole war and my titans dying, I completely forgot about my mission to tame Mothra. When I reached home, no, you guys are, it's been 20 days. What are these vegetables made out of? These are harder to get than netherite. I guess I had to wait more. But before I waited even more, I decided to add some water pipe. Bro, all this time, these crops needed some water. I'm not the best farmer. While the vegetables were growing, I gathered everything else I needed for Mothra's snack, but I quickly found out all the honey I gathered spoiled, so I went back to get some and found the pteranodons I tamed way back when I tamed the griffin. After getting everything I needed and making the pteranodons whistle me, on my way back home we were attacked by... What is even that? But thankfully they were distracted by something else. At this point, my stamina was low and I needed to catch a break, so I landed to charge back up, and let's just say the desert is not the safest place. I have to run. Is that dog with an atomic beam? Bro, what is this place, man? To make things worse, Mufasa with wings chased me down all the way back when he was chasing me, and this guy was fast, like, oh my. I tried doing everything, dodging him left and right, but I still wasn't enough, and eventually my stamina ran out, but that's when I decided I can't die. So I uncryed my other pteranodon, and I used my old one as bait. I'm sorry, I have to get home. But this manticore wanted blood. He completely ignored my other pteranodon and came straight at me. I tried everything, but this manticore was like a supercar. Eventually, I ran out of stamina, leaving me on foot. As I saw my pteranodons get killed, I couldn't do anything. I was all alone in the woods, surrounded by dangerous dinosaurs and titans that are trying to kill me. To make it worse, the night just came around and I began freezing. I had to stay warm and get something to eat, so I gathered some resources to make a campfire. When these guys, oh my, nah bro, these guys, bro, please leave me alone. I ran a little further down before placing this campfire to warm myself up and heal a little bit. I knew I couldn't stay long because it would be a matter of time before these manticores found me. With my health coming back to nearly full, I decided to go back home. While evading all the dangerous things the redwoods had to offer, I encountered Titanus dog. Oh my, I had no idea if the dog would attack me or not because, I mean, it's dog. I guess I got my answer. It felt like things kept getting worse and worse. But not to spoil anything, it wouldn't be like that for long. But before we jump to the good stuff, I had to get all my stuff back, as I was carrying valuable resources which is required for Mothra's snack. On my way to get all my items back, the wyverns hatched, so I had to claim them all, and then I got on my pteranodon and headed back. Hopefully this time I won't die and get chased by manticore. Bro, what is Tyrone doing here? No, bro, I've had enough. I was getting really annoyed and my pteranodons were running low, so I had to bring out the big guns, and I made my way there. I was gonna kill everything. I was gonna burn that whole redwood to the ground. When I reached there, I saw the tiger killing my pteranodons and quickly ended him. But before I could get my stuff, a lava rock golem threw a rock at me, which nearly killed me. I had to flee. I couldn't stay there. Nah. Okay. You guys wanna play? Okay, this time I was not playing around. I meant it. When I wanted everything in the redwoods gone, I was being serious. I took out Leatherback and we went there. I was wiping everything in my path. The poor dodo birds weren't even safe. Anything in my way, I would destroy. After completely wiping out the redwoods, I finally managed to get my things back and went home. Wow, what an adventure. I spent nearly 3 days getting honey. I spent the next couple of days doing base work and farming and getting artifacts, as I planned on going to the boss battles again and hopefully doing better than last time. But skipping the boring stuff, by day 63 all of my wyverns grew up and I took them to tame another skullcrawler, and after they got eaten I tamed myself another skullcrawler. Don't worry guys, I still had my plan to wipe them all. I just needed one for myself as they were very useful tames. While all this was happening, my crops finally grew up and I had enough to make Mothra's snack. Now, I didn't know if one was enough, but I had to try. I got on my newly tamed skullcrawlers and went to find the Mothra. And there she is. Oh my. Bro, she was getting more beautiful by the day. I was so excited to finally tame Mothra and take to the skies after so much defeat. I put the snack on my last inventory and went to tame her and... oh no. She didn't tame? Don't tell... no. Yep, my worst nightmare came true. I needed more than one Mothra snack to tame her. To be more specific, I needed 3 more. But not all hope was lost, as all I needed to do was just wait till more crops to grow. While waiting, I continued the construction of my newly base. It was coming along well, and I nearly finished it. And once all the main structures such as the smithy, fabricator, and cryofridge were placed, I left to get more honey. Hopefully this time, I'll make it without dying. And I did. By sunrise of day 68, I had everything ready to tame Mothra. And I continued my tame. And one by one, as she ate the snacks, I had finally tamed this beautiful titaness, Mosura. The first thing I did was take to the skies, admiring the nature and the beauty of this land. During my flight, I noticed a leatherback terrorizing the redwoods, and I didn't want to risk killing Mothra on the first day after taming her, so I went back home and took my own leatherback to end him. When I laid eyes on him, I challenged him and we began fighting. He was far more experienced than I was, doing all these random moves I didn't even know how to do. But after a very close fight, I managed to beat him. I managed to beat him with a sliver of health. I was about to go home when I heard a noise. A very iconic noise. Can it really be? No way. Without hesitation, I jumped to find Godzilla. I couldn't wait to finally tame the king of monsters. But I couldn't get ahead of myself, because if those were the frogs from Godzilla X controlling me, I would have had to shoot him right there and there. But to my surprise, he was the king of monsters. Godzilla was looking majestic in all his glory. Now, I was still skeptical if Godzilla would absolutely mow me down, so I offered him a friendly dance to inform him I mean no harm. And I think it kind of worked, because as I approached closer and closer, it didn't provoke him. He was majestical. And I know what I have to do. I have to tame him and bring balance. I immediately rushed back to base and started gathering everything I needed to tame Godzilla. I guess Godzilla must have sensed the presence of Mothra and came out of whatever hole he was in. All the resources required to craft these titan-knocking trank bullets were ready, but they were still a huge problem. You see, to tame Godzilla you need his favorite food, atomic fish, which needs 100 elements, and I don't have enough, and I can't get more because I failed every boss battle I've been in. The only other way was through corrupt kaijus like the lava golem. Seeing that was the only way I could get element right now, I got on my skullcrawler and searched everywhere for them. I searched in the desert, in the snow, in the badlands. I even discovered something even more terrifying than the skullcrawlers, the mutos. I had completely forgot. The mutos are like skullcrawlers. Left untouched, they will take over and reproduce like crazy. Well, that was another thing I needed to take care of after I tamed Godzilla though. After searching the whole island, I could not find a single corrupt titan. That left me with another option, my original plan, to tame an army of Zilla Juniors and fight the bosses. So I did that. After taming the Zillas, this time I wasn't going to repeat the same mistake I did last time. I took the Zillas all the way to the obelisk to begin the boss battle. But on our way there, we were attacked by a leatherback. He's just a leatherback, not like 50 skullcrawlers. We easily defeated him. But he did manage to get my Zillas low, and since I had a few of them, I wanted to heal them up before we started the battle. While waiting, I went home to get all the artifacts I gathered earlier and went back to find that they weren't even even close to being fully healed. So to kill the time, I had the perfect idea. I began building a small cabin house. This would serve as a second base on the other side and also be a getaway. If I ever wanted to relax by the beach and get away from killing titans, I could come here and enjoy the nature. After adding the final details like a fishing site and a cozy campfire, I waited a bit longer till the sun started setting. By this time, most of the Zillas were nearly fully healed. This was it. After many failed attempts, I had to do it. I didn't want to fail. When we spawned in, I knew that we had to target the dragon. And after surprisingly easily beating the dragon, we moved on to the manticore. Now this was a bit more challenging as he kept flying away, and when he did land, we didn't have enough time to damage him. But there was also another huge problem. You see, the manticore barely did any damage, but he did a lot of torpor, which would put my Zillas to sleep. And after one by one, most of my Zillas went to sleep, but I couldn't. I was so close, and after a close 1v1, I managed to kill him. This was close. When I teleported back, I noticed all my Zillas were put to sleep, but I could care less anymore. It was done. It meant I could finally get everything I needed to get Godzilla. So after flying back home, I gathered everything and prepared to tame the king. Now I only could craft 5 bullets as I didn't have enough resources to craft more, and I wasn't going to sit here and farm for another hour, but I was hoping it would be enough. And when I finally reached the desert, there he is. Godzilla. I was hoping since I had Mothra with me, Godzilla wouldn't devour me in 2 seconds. To make things even better, I also tried landing on Godzilla, but I failed miserably. This was it. This moment would decide the future of the Monsterverse, whether I would bring balance or Godzilla would kill me and I couldn't do anything about it. Everything was on the line. All the sacrifices and the death led me to this moment right here. I had to tame him and knock him out really fast before he kills me. I pulled out my gun and spam shot him. The moment his dorsal plate lit up, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of pooped myself, but to my luck, he went down. Wow, I have never been scared. But this was it. I was so close to taming the king. I could feel peace and balance returning to these lands. All those corrupt dinos that are terrorizing this place would finally disappear. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. We still need to tame him. After crafting the fish, I put it in his inventory when something hit me. When taming the Mothra, she needed more than one snack. What if Godzilla needs more than one fish? This nightmare kept me worried. And it kept me worried for good. For good luck, I danced on hoping that one fish is all I need, as if he didn't tame in one fish, I would have to do all that boss battle again, which I didn't want to. As I waited longer and longer for him to eat the fish, I got more and more nervous when eventually, oh no, my nightmare became a reality. He had not tamed with one fish. No, 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 no. As I watched helplessly that taming bar go down, I knew I could do nothing. There was only one thing I could do. Kill Godzilla. This did not bring me joy, but I had to do it for 2 reasons. The first reason, that Godzilla might wake up and absolutely destroy me and Mothra within seconds, which I do not like that. And the second reason is I needed Godzilla's dorsal plates. You see, if I gathered 15 Godzilla's dorsal plates, I could unlock Ghidorah and possibly tame him too. And you guys will have to watch it and see if I managed to do that. No spoilers. To kill the Godzilla faster, I uncried my skullcrawler and began killing him. This brought me no joy. The titan I thought would bring peace and balance, I was over here killing him. I was ashamed of myself, but I had to do it. Once Godzilla was dead, I cried up my skullcrawler and went home. Not only did I fail to tame Godzilla, but I also wasted a lot of resources and a lot of tranq bullets. Most of my resources like metal, polymer, and a bunch of other stuff were running low. So I spent the next couple of days farming these rare resources. And when I went to get some black pearls, there I was attacked by an army of Zillas. I tried killing them, but since my skullcrawler deals venomous poison that knocks people out, I thought since I had to do the boss battles again, it wouldn't be a bad idea if I tamed them. And since I had a lot of cryopods, I could easily transport them. After they tamed, I had all the resources I was looking for, and I made my way home. But near a bridge, I spotted the Titanus dog stuck there. Now when I saw Titanus dog, I remembered that these things could do an atomic beam, which I had no idea they even had the ability to do that. And I really wanted to tame one. I wanted to see if my skullcrawler could knock him out with his venomous attack. So I got close to hit him when with one hit, I checked his health using my spyglass. 90 million? What? Godzilla had 1.6? Now I gotta run, please. Please run, please, please, please. But before I could run, he blasted me with his atomic beam and killing my second skullcrawler. Since my skullcrawler died, I was left by foot and I was immediately attacked by raptors. But I remembered I had tamed Zillas earlier. After crying out, one of them killed the rest of the raptor. Whew, that was hectic, but I was still grieving the death of my second skullcrawler. Look at him. Look at this creature. I will kill you. Hey, nah, this dog is possessed. As I stared him down, I knew that one day I would come back and kill him, get revenge on my skullcrawler. But right now is not the time to kill Titano's dog. I mean, even if I tried, I couldn't kill him. After venturing into the jungles, avoiding dangerous titans and even killing some weaker ones, I finally made it on the sunrise of day 78 to my beach house. Now, since I had no way of getting home, I poisoned myself and respawned at my original base, where I got Mothra and flew back and got all my stuff. On my way back to my original base, I wanted to continue building, upgrading my new base, but I spotted a Hanna-Barbera Godzilla fighting a Millennium Godzilla. I was really curious as I had never seen these titans before and I really wanted to tame them. I mean, how hard can it be, right? But before I could tame them, I needed more trank bullets, so I went home and gathered more narco berries and began crafting narcotics. By day 78, they had all crafted and I could craft 3 trank bullets. Surely that was enough to knock out a Godzilla that looks like Barney and belongs in Sesame Street. But let's hope they didn't kill each other by the time I got back. But to my surprise, when I reached there, they were both fine. Now, since I had 3 bullets, I wanted to know if 3 bullets was enough to knock out the Millennium Godzilla, as I think he would be more scary and better to tame. So after shooting him and checking him, it did nothing. So apparently this gun was useless in taming Millennium Godzilla, even though this worked in Legendary Godzilla. But luckily it was useful against Hanna-Barbera Godzilla, as when I shot, the torpidity went up. But before I could knock out the Hanna-Barbera Godzilla, these monkeys decided to fight each other again. I kept thinking of a way to separate them when I thought the best way I could help was to kill the Millennium Godzilla. But that didn't work, as Mothra was too weak to do significant damage to it, and I couldn't stay there for long trying to kill the Millennium as it was cold. So cold I began freezing to death every time I got close to them, so I had to retreat. But while doing this, Millennium began following me, so I took this opportunity to lead them off the mountain, and after many failed attempts, I managed to do it. Now finally I could tame the Hanna-Barbera Godzilla without having Millennium bother me. So after knocking him out, I quickly came to realize that that is not how you tame Hanna-Barbera Godzilla. Apparently you need to record his audio, then craft some machine to tame him, which I found out much later. What a waste of 3 trank bullets and my time. After that huge failed, I headed home to a cozy campfire where I did my research on Hanna-Barbera and Millennium Godzilla, which needed a nuke to tame him. Yeah, I wasn't going to tame him anytime soon. Besides, I have a mission to kill Titano's dog. The biggest problem I was facing was element, as it was the main ingredient to tame some of these titans. And as I mentioned before, there was only 2 ways of obtaining it: the boss battles, which I'm good, or killing elemental creatures, which isn't the best as they don't give a lot and they're really hard to find. But there is another way. You see, I recently discovered that one of the mods I installed has an element collector, a powerful mining tool that collects elements. So after learning it, I got all the resources required to build it and finally built it and placed it right beside my base. Finally, I could get element, but not a lot. Although it did get element, it farmed a different form of element called element dust, and I needed 1000 dust to get 1 single element. And the rate it was collecting, I would need to play this game till GTA 6 release date. So I knew that if I wanted to speed things up, I had to build more of these and get a whole farm. We were about to turn this ARK game into a Clash of Clans mining base. So after spending the entire day gathering all the resources required to build more of these, all I had to do was wait for the metal to finally smelt. While the metal was farming, I decided this would be a perfect time to finally move houses. You see, once in a while I would continue construction on my base, and at this point I thought it was the perfect time to move into it as it was nearly completely finished. I mean, we're 80 days in and I have a dirt shed for a base. We're playing Minecraft over here. So late at night at day 80 I began moving everything, and after many trips I had finally moved to my new base. I even pulled all my dinos and I finally changed their name to my subscribers. So if you want your name to be a dinosaur's name or a titan like Godzilla, make sure to hit that subscribe button. But after moving everything from my old base to my new base, I didn't destroy this base as I was still planning on keeping it as a secondary base just in case I face a great threat, and since it's a cave, nothing can really harm this base. My next goal was a forge, as my refining forges were taking too long to smelt the metal. I mean, these things, you had to wait 2 hours to get 1 metal. Bro, what are you doing? Since these things were so huge, I couldn't place them in my base, so I began working on a forge area near my new house. I branched outside of my main base as I wanted all my industrial stuff to be placed outside. So after placing a mountain cliff, all I needed now was an elevator to get up and down. I also needed wiring, as without electricity, the elevator wouldn't work, so after doing my best electrical work, everything was working well. Now all I needed was a forge. To end day 81, I headed to my old base to see how the element collector was doing, and you know what, for 20 minutes that wasn't bad. On day 82 I headed out to get more metal, a lot of it, and after a successful run, now all I had to do was wait for it to smelt. Until the time I did minor base upgrades at other farms like berries, but eventually I finally crafted the forge and placed it down. Now we're talking. I could finally get the things done on the list. But however, there was still a problem that needed to be taken care of. I needed more element. So I built another element maker and began crafting more. I needed a large farm of these collectors, but there was nothing I could do as the melted I need was still smelting. So while waiting for the element, I farmed. I know, how exciting. But don't worry, as things are about to change, as by day 85 I had completed the base and I wanted to give you guys a house tour. The main entrance was comprised of crafting essential like the fabricator, the smithy, and the vault where I keep my miscellaneous resources. Then over to the section by the stairs that lead to nowhere. I'm not gonna lie, I have no idea why I made this, but after that we can go to the second story, my bedroom. And here we can see Godzilla X Kong poster painting and a chair where you can sit and think about your next move. Then we got my personal vault and a warm-up to plot out my next attack and to see where the biggest threat titans are. Then here we got my girlfriend Shaniqua. Guys, don't judge, man. I'm here all alone. It gets lonely. When we exit the base from the backside, we can see my girlfriend posing and a toilet, so I can sit down and enjoy her beauty. Life cannot get better than this, can it, huh? I was really enjoying myself. And for a moment, I forgot what I was fighting for. I mean, can you blame me? I had everything. I really felt like giving up, but I remembered about all the titans, all the dinosaurs, all the pain and suffering for what? I had to bring balance and set this island free from the false king. And I had to continue grinding and farming and crafting everything I had to take him down and bring balance. By day 85, I was ready. Well, you might be asking, ready for what? Well, you see, back when I tried to tame Hanna-Barbera Godzilla, I spotted a Mecha Godzilla on the way, and I did nothing as I really couldn't do anything. And besides, I had to rush back to the Hanna-Barbera and Millennium as I was scared they would kill each other. But now, with the firepower and resources I farmed, I was ready to tame the Mecha Godzilla as he required mecha batteries, which you guessed it, needs element. And thanks to my element collectors, I had enough to craft it. And after everything was ready, I headed out in the dark to tame Mecha Godzilla. Look at Mecha Godzilla. Even in the darkest of nights, he was still relentless, destroying everything in his way. So I made sure not to get close to him as I knew Mothra would stand no chance against him. I pulled out my gun and began shooting at him to see if I had enough bullets, and I did. But before I could finish the job, another problem arose. You see, we're in the snowiest of places, and to make things worse, we're in the middle of the night and it was cold there. Really cold. I mean, I was literally freezing to death. For a brief moment, I fell back to a warmer place to heal up, and after healing for a bit, I needed to go back and quickly knock him out. Once I was nearly full, I rushed there and quickly knocked him out. Now, all I had to do was the easy part, feed Mecha Godzilla. But that was harder than it looked, as when I landed Mothra on top of a tree, I dismounted, falling down and taking a lot of fall damage. Oh no, I might die. To make things worse, once I put the mecha battery, I got damaged for no reason. But thankfully he tamed immediately, and the moment I got on him, I died. It was done. The hard part was over. But before I celebrate, I have to go back and take him. And who knows, maybe Godzilla will pull up and kill Mecha Godzilla and Mothra. Since I had no tames near me, I got Blue, my horse, and galloped my way back. Finally, my luck was turning. After loss and loss, Mecha would finally be the titan to turn things around. I could begin my mission bringing balance. When I reached there, I wanted to get my old inventory back as I had valuable items like the trank gun. But there was a pack of wolves, but that was no problems. I mean, I had Mecha Godzilla literally right there. So when I got on him, no! My horse died! But I couldn't even kill them as I was about to die from the cold. And I know Blue didn't sacrifice himself for me just to die again. So I didn't bother killing the wolves. Instead, I whistled Mothra to follow me and together we went home. There, I took a moment to appreciate the beauty of Mecha. Oh my, look at it. Now, since I had one of the strongest titans, I could begin Operation Bring Balance. And the first thing I did... You thought I forgot about you? I wasted no time to wipe out all the Skullcrawlers. They stood no chance! And after successfully wiping out the Skullcrawlers and finally getting closure, I traveled all over the island to see who was causing trouble. And surprisingly, the land seemed peaceful. Up until I met this Millennium Godzilla. Because of you, I couldn't tame the Hanna-Barbera Godzilla. I knew I had to wipe him, so I started attacking, but quickly found out that Millennium stands on business. My man does not mess around. Hey bro, chill! I didn't tame Mecha Godzilla for him to die in 2 seconds. Nah, I'm getting out of here. I tried running away, but Mecha started breakdancing. Mecha, please bro, stop. What are you doing, man? Get me out of here! Eventually, I made it there, but not before nearly dying. Since I was low, I couldn't continue my adventure as Mecha. While waiting for him to heal up, I researched on how to tame Millennium Godzilla as he destroyed Mecha Godzilla. And the only way to tame Millennium Godzilla, you guys guessed it, more element. To speed up element production, I crafted more element collectors and placed them in my old base as I didn't want to clutter my new base. And besides, I wanted to turn this entire place into an element farm. As night was closing up, I took some photos, and by this time Mecha was fully healed. I thought to myself, if I took Mechagodzilla out at the night, we could find bigger and scarier titans. And boy, was I right. But let's not spoil. I went to the only place I knew titans roamed there a lot, the desert. But before I went there, I heard some unsettling noises. Oh my bro, I ain't going there. Well, at least not now, but I will soon when I have something stronger. In the desert, I spotted dog. Is this the same? No way. Is this the same dog that killed me earlier? I knew I couldn't beat him now, but I wanted to tease him, troll him a bit, make him angry, so I distanced myself and began shooting him. Look at this goofy Godzilla wannabe. Look at him, he really... Oh no, oh please. I'm not gonna die. I'm not gonna lie, the moment he began charging at me, I pooped myself a little, and I think Mechagodzilla did too. I continued searching the desert for big titans. Nah bro, I'm going home. On my way back, I spotted the Mutos, and this was a perfect time to kill them. No Muto can beat Mecha, right? Besides, what can these four-legged dinosaurs do? Oh my, they kidnapped me! Ah! No, I'm joking. After killing most of the Mutos, I kind of got bored as they were taking way too long to kill them. So I went home. But since there was nothing much to do at base, as all I needed to do was wait for element and metal to smelt, I headed out for adventure again. On my way to the desert, I saw him. Oh my, it's Godzilla, look at him. Now, I was skeptical if he was going to kill me because I was Mechagodzilla, but we were vibing. Damn, who knew Mecha and Godzilla were best friends? I wanted to tame Godzilla, but before I could, this dog was waiting for me to tame him so he could kill him while Godzilla was knocked out. I wasn't going to tame Godzilla yet, as I still didn't trust this dog. I needed him to wander off further so I can tame the Godzilla in peace. So while waiting, I ventured out deeper into the forest where I found a Hanna-Barbera Godzilla and Millennium. Bro, are these Godzillas like a couple? Why are they always together, man? Instead, I began recording Hanna-Barbera Godzilla as you need 20 audio files to tame him. And so far, about 5 minutes in, I didn't get any. I was going to be here a long time. But apparently not that long as this goofy Millennium started killing the Hanna-Barbera. Bro, oh my. I really wanted to tame him, so I got my Mechagodzilla to distract the Millennium, but to no success. Yep. He was going to die. But before the Hanna-Barbera Godzilla died, he gave me an audio file. I tried getting more, but it was too late and the Hanna-Barbera Godzilla died. After that, the Millennium Godzilla began attacking me. Well, last time you nearly killed me, but this time I will not back down. I won't give up, and I'm going to kill you. I will... How did he kill me? Bro, this guy's hacked. But I couldn't question it for long as I needed to go there, as without me, Mechagodzilla was weaker and he might die. I really didn't want to go with Mothra, but I had no other option. I can't let Mothra die, but at the same time, I can't leave Mechagodzilla there. After making it back, I saw them still fighting and there was no way I could ride Mecha without dying. So I stayed on my Mothra and I helped the Mecha any way I could. And this fight was long, but slowly the Millennium was dying. And you know what? Mothra was actually pulling up a fight and she wasn't taking that much damage. But all that changed when Millennium pulled out his Naruto move and killed me again. How bro? How does he keep doing this? He's using his domain expansion? What is this move? With my strongest titan gone and being distracted killing the Millennium Godzilla, I decided to take the Wyvern as it would be way faster than if I took the Leatherback, who was too slow. When I reached there, I couldn't do anything but pray that they killed him before he killed my titans. And as I watched his health decrease till he died, I was content. Phew, I really thought my titans were gonna die. To be sure, I checked out their health and oh my, both Mecha and Mothra nearly died. Wow, that was very close. This fight was a real eye-opener. Mecha and Mothra were too weak and I really needed to tame Godzilla. So without wasting any time, I crafted the bed near Mothra and took Mecha and headed home. I was hoping since Mothra and Godzilla are like best friends, no one would hurt Mothra. When I made it home, I gathered all the elements from my old and new base and started crafting everything I needed. And by the end of the day, I had everything ready. I had enough element to make 2 atomic fish, and if Godzilla needed more than that, well, I guess I'm cooked. I had to gamble it all on this moment. I took my Wyvern and flew back to Mothra. After cryopodding the Wyvern, I inched towards Godzilla. Whew, this was it. Mothra was very low, so I had to knock out Godzilla fast, and hopefully I had enough ammo to do so. After shooting him once, he began charging towards me. I continued shooting him, he came closer to me, and I thought I knocked him out, but he started doing his atomic beam charge up. Oh, finally, he went down. Now that the scary part was over, was 2 fish enough? After crafting them, I put it in his inventory and I waited and waited and I waited some more. My heart was pounding. Would Godzilla tame? And eventually, he did! I did it! I tamed the king of monsters, Godzilla! I've never been more happy. When I got on Godzilla, the first thing I did without hesitation was go over to the dog and scare him. I roared at him to let him know that I was the king now and he couldn't do anything about it. No one could. But for some reason, instead of dog bowing to Godzilla, Godzilla bowed? Hey bro, what are you doing? Get However, I found out that I by accidentally pressed control, which would make Godzilla start crawling. Look at him. Oh my. I guess I should learn Godzilla's moves and abilities before I try to kill any other titan. Or even before I kill this dog. But I couldn't fight this dog yet, as I needed to take Mothra back home, as she was very low. I whistled her to follow me, and we started heading back home. And I'm not gonna lie, Godzilla with Mothra behind looked fire. He looks like he has wings of himself too. Oh my. Things were looking good, and trust me, they were only going to get better from this point on. After dropping Mothra at base and introducing Godzilla to Mecha, I went back because I had a job to finish. The moment I reached the desert, I was greeted by Leatherback and easily clapped him. Then I climbed the mountains where I remembered that the Mothra was still there. And after fighting them for an entire day, killing 7 Mutos, you guys heard me right. I mean, I was using every move in the book to defeat these things. At one point, Godzilla started doing drop kicks like he was in the WWE. And eventually, after killing the 8th and final Muto of the Monsterverse, all the Mutos were dead. Except one that I kept to tame. Ooh, Godzilla was looking strong. But not that strong, as fighting all these Mutos got them really low, and I couldn't risk getting him killed, so I avoided every titan I saw and slowly made my way home. While walking with Godzilla, I really took into appreciation how beautiful these lands are, and I even got up and did the Algar roar, so everybody knows that Godzilla was the king of monsters. But bro, what is Godzilla doing? But that ain't no the king of monsters, that's the king of ogres, bro. When I reached home, Godzilla was really tired, so I put him to sleep. Let my boy take a nap. While Godzilla was out cold sleeping, you see, one thing I didn't like about my new base was that anything could just walk into it, and I couldn't do anything about it. I mean, I did have massive titans to kill them, but still, you guys knew it was annoying. So I wanted to place massive gates claiming these lands, to let everybody know that they were not welcome here. So I spent the next couple of days farming and slowly placing a gate at a time. So after spending day and night placing and farming more gates, this was taking way longer than I expected, but since Godzilla was taking his time healing up, I had nothing else to do. And after 4 days of placing and farming, we were finally finished by day 90 nightfall. And I'm not gonna lie, this is ugly, bro. But I wasn't going to destroy it all, as I spent a way too long placing them up. However, not everything was a waste, as when I was placing and farming, my element farms have been going hard at work. And after collecting all the element dust and turning them into element, we had a lot. We could start playing around with some of these titans, and the first titan I wanted to spawn was Shin Godzilla, the scariest Godzilla so far. And I had every resources to craft this Shin Godzilla spawner except 5,000 spoiled meat, and why does Shin Godzilla need that much meat, bro? What kind of Liver King diet is this? But after taking Godzilla and trying to go on a meat run through these gates, which the gates don't even allow me to exit my house. I hate building these things. But luckily I did leave a gap for me to escape. With Godzilla I got a lot of meat, and after spoiling them using an exploit, by nightfall of day 91 we were ready. I crafted Shin Godzilla's spawner and moved further away down my base. Now, I was hoping Shin Godzilla wouldn't attack me and we could just be friends, as I really didn't want to kill him. So after spawning him in, I witnessed one of the coldest entrances to a Godzilla. Like, bro is a transformer! You're not the Optimus Prime! However, to my surprise, Shin Godzilla was peaceful. He didn't even move. To let him know I was no threat, I did a little dance, and I think it kind of worked. Look, he's enjoying it. Okay, no, Shin, I thought we were friends. Okay, you wanna play? Let's play. I roared at him with the mic, challenging him to a fight, ready for war, but... Huh? Yo, Shin, you wanna fight? I guess not. Wait, so Shin, are we friends? But as soon as I said this, he slapped me. Bro, what's wrong with this Shin Godzilla? After I drop kicked him, I hope it would fix his brain, but it did nothing. I guess the only thing to do was to tame him. So I knocked him out and tamed him, and just like that, Shin Godzilla was mine. And I'm not gonna lie, Shin Godzilla was looking menacing. He looked scarier than Godzilla. And an amazing thing with Shin Godzilla, he could go to his 5th form and ask you guys for a hug. After introducing Shin Godzilla to the boys like Mothra and Mecha Godzilla, I left Legendary Godzilla and I took Shin on an adventure to see if he was really strong or if he was just a goofball like the Leatherback or Mecha Godzilla. I went to my go-to place, the desert, and within 2 minutes, a Mecha Godzilla spawned and I absolutely destroyed him. The Mecha didn't even touch Shin Godzilla. Instead, we touched him with Shin Godzilla's giant arms. You see, I had 3 of the strongest titans in the whole Monsterverse. I just needed maybe 1 or 2 more of them to fight him, to fight the demon, to fight Destroyer. You see, Destroyer has been terrorizing the Monsterverse, bringing it into chaos, and I had to fix it and bring balance, and I was so close on achieving that. I couldn't get distracted now, not when I was so close to achieving my goal. So I went home, but on my way home, I ran into the Muto that I knocked out when I was fighting the Mutos. I had completely forgot about this guy. So after bringing the Shin Godzilla and Muto back home, I began taming another titan. a fierce robot, Kiryu. Luckily, I had all the things I needed besides simple resources like stone, which within 2 minutes I had enough. And after crafting it, I went outside to spawn it. I was hoping it would spawn tamed in, as I mean, this is a robot. And to my expectations, he did spawn in tamed. And I'm not gonna lie, Kiryu quickly became my favorite titan. I mean, his animations, his design, his attacks are just so perfect. And on top of that, this guy, whenever I'm riding him, I feel like I'm in a movie. I tried to find something around the areas to kill to see if Kiryu was strong. And when I reached the wyvern's den, oh my, this guy is still stuck here. To tease him, I attacked him a bit, angering him, but I didn't really do much damage, so I left. Besides, eventually I really wanted to tame Hazy Godzilla as he was level 2000. I took Kiryu on an adventure to defeat any titan I see, but I saw none. And just as I was about to give up and head home, I saw the perfect match for Kiryu, Mecha. This was the time to finally find out who was the better Pringles can, Mechagodzilla or Kiryu. After I challenged Mecha, I was fighting with everything I had. I was using every gun Kiryu had. The ground was cracking and shaking because of our colossal battle. And after a crazy 1v1, I beat Mechagodzilla. My man took an L so hard he bowed to me. Yeah, I'm the king. I was feeling good. And I think it's time. Time to fight him. Time to fight the devil. I went home and gathered all my titans. Now unfortunately my recording did crash, but all I did was armor up and level all my titans and began heading to the destroyed city. And oh my, whatever titan that was against us is getting cooked. We had everyone here besides Mothra, which I'm not letting anything harm Mothra, and I wasn't even going to risk her. And I also left Leatherback because, like, bro, this Shrek is not gonna do anything against Destroyer. Slowly but surely I made my way, and this journey seemed harder than it looked. Because these dumb titans keep getting stuck. Like, bro, why is Godzilla riding the Muto? You're a titan. After painfully getting everyone on the city, I was slowly searching for Destroyer. I had to be very careful as I had no idea where he was or what he was hiding. Bro, Godzilla, what are you doing? I was trying my best to sneak around, but these negative IQ dinosaurs made it impossible. Like, look at this Kiryu. Get off me. Stop sniffing me, bro. These titans, man. Oh my, they can oh my. There he was, Destroyer. Suddenly, all my complaining vanished as I witnessed the scariest titan, and this was it. Everything led to this moment. Every death, every loss, every win was for this moment, and I wasn't going to waste it. I have a mission, a goal, and I was either going to kill him or die trying. This was it. However, before I could get onto Godzilla, he charged at me. There was no going back now, and I had to attack. When we charged at him, Destroyer blinded us with a heavy smoke, and my vision was limited. With just 2 attacks, the Muto nearly went down. I knew that I couldn't continue riding Muto, and I needed to get on Godzilla. So I jumped off Muto and risked everything to get onto Godzilla. After parachuting and luckily safely getting onto Godzilla, I began attacking him. I was giving it everything I had, but then I noticed the Shin Godzilla. Bro, what are you doing? Attack! However, I didn't have time to care as the Muto went down. It was only Godzilla, Mecha, and Kiryu left. The Shin Godzilla for some reason could care less, and he was just chilling and admiring the city. We were giving it everything we had, fighting till the very end, and eventually we beat him. Oh my, we won. I am the king. I had accomplished my goal. I beat the biggest threat there was. Now, nothing could challenge me. Nothing could even beat me. I was the king and I could finally bring balance. Unfortunately, the Muto did go down. He didn't die, but he was really knocked out. And I checked the other Titans' HP as Godzilla wasn't even halfway. But when I checked the Mecha Godzilla, he was nearly dead, and their Kiryu was half HP. Destroyer put up a really good fight. He brought 4 of the strongest Titans to half HP. I definitely couldn't have beat him as Godzilla alone. This was it. I had finally accomplished everything I wanted, and I was happy. Now, I just had to go home and celebrate. As I got on the desert, I began heading home when I noticed something. Is that dog the same dog that killed my Skullcrawler? Nah, I can't let him get away this time. Besides, as the king of monsters and 3 of the strongest titans behind me, I have to bring order to him. And dog would either have to bow down to me or die. And it didn't seem like he was bowing, so I began charging at him and attacked him. This is payback time, dog. I will kill you. Whoa, Mecha, no! Yeah, you will pay for that. I quickly got on my Shin Godzilla when, oh no, Kiryu, not you! two are dead! Godzilla, we have to kill him. But before I even had the chance to damage Dog, the Shin Godzilla got really low. I couldn't risk getting him killed, and I had to run away. So I whistled Godzilla with me. Retreat, Godzilla! Godzilla! No! Why? I had no time to grieve as I had to run, and if I looked back, the dog might kill me. I barely managed to escape with a sliver of health. I needed to go home now, fast, before I was attacked by anything else. Godzilla, Mecha, Kiryu, Muto, all are dead. And to what? Some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle looking titan? When I went home, I looked at Shin Godzilla and I asked the question. Did I lose? What can I do now? Shin Godzilla was too weak to do anything. And alone, he couldn't kill the dog. Mothra had no chance, and Leatherback, this guy can't even kill a fish. I was lost. I didn't know what to do. I felt so defeated. All along, I thought Destroyer was the enemy, but it was Dog. Dog was the true devil. Dog was the one bringing chaos to these lands. But you know what they say? To kill the devil, you have to bring out a monster. And to be more specific, I had to bring out Monster Zero. Wait. Before I get ahead of myself, let me explain. To spawn Ghidorah, you need 15 of Godzilla's dorsal plates, which you get by killing Godzilla. And you guys might remember I did when I killed him the first time I tried to tame him. And before going to fight Destroyer, I killed a lot of Godzillas I saw while I was waiting for the element and metal to smell. And I didn't think it was important, so I didn't mention it. But now, Monster Zero might be my only way out. I didn't even know how to tame him, or if I could tame him without Godzilla, but I have to try. I'd rather risk everything I have to beat that ugly gummy bear than be defeated. I spawned in my old base, which I turned into an element farm and got everything. And I got all the element I needed to craft Ghidorah spawners. At this point, resources were running low. I scraped my whole base and only made 3 bullets. Hopefully this was enough. I mean, Godzilla took 3 himself. And besides, I didn't have time to go farm more as this was day 99. It was all or nothing. I got everything ready on the daybreak of day 100. I headed to Shin Godzilla. After getting on Shin Godzilla, I went little further outside of my base and I spawned him. Hopefully I could knock him out and tame him before he could break my base and damage my titans. That was the plan. And as I summoned him, oh my, he was terrifying and menacing. I couldn't waste time, so I immediately pulled out my gun, but Shin Godzilla for some reason knocked me off. But thankfully I didn't die. I aimed my gun towards the Ghidorah and put every bullet I had in him and check how much torpor I did, and I'm cooked. I couldn't do anything. All I could do was just stare at Ghidorah as he absolutely crucified me. Me and Shin both got destroyed, and I was about to give it up and call it a day. I guess I failed this 100 days challenge, but then I remembered Mothra. Oh no, I can't let Ghidorah kill Mothra. Oh no. Mothra, hang in there! I'm coming! I quickly spawned and rushed to Mothra. And when I reached there, phew, Ghidorah wasn't close to us. I got on my wyvern and flew over to Mothra. As I took off, I saw Shin Godzilla's body and oh my. Look how Ghidorah disrespected Shin. Bro turned him into a meatball. I had to quickly leave. I can't stay here with Ghidorah being my neighbor. I went inside the base to get all the important stuff for me to be able to start a new life somewhere else. When I heard something. Oh no. What the Ghidorah? Oh no, he killed Sylvian, my beaver. No! I closed the gate hoping that would leave him out. Leave me alone, you dragon! Oh no. Wait, no, Mothra. Mothra's still there. I have to go back. Mothra, I'm coming. I spawned in my old base and ran as fast as I could. Mothra, are you okay? Oh no, close the door. Did that work? No. I turned around and I ran. Did I lose him? I tried running away, but bro out here doing anime moves. Mothra is still in danger. I had to respawn. I respawned on the beach, and for some reason this dragon won't leave me alone. I ignored him and ran straight to Mothra. I'm coming, Mothra. I turned around and that's when the Ghidorah beamed me. I was so close to Mothra. Let me ride you! Ah! Fly, Mothra. Please, fly! When I got Mothra, I was about to run away, but to make sure the Ghidorah didn't chase me down and fly with me and follow me, I made the leatherback stay and distract him while me and Mothra ran away. I was so close to dying. I mean, if Ghidorah farted on me, I would have died, but Leatherback was keeping him busy and I had to run away. Goodbye, Leatherback. I will not forget you. And finally, I flew away. Phew! I think I'm safe. I traveled all the way to the other side of the map, next to my beach house. This place was safe from Ghidorah, and it was guarded by Zillas. Hopefully Ghidorah wouldn't chase me here. What? just happened. As I entered the house and sat on the porch, I felt like giving up, but I can't. Not when I was so close achieving my goal. I mean, I was the king of monsters, but that dog took everything away from me. And Ghidorah, nah, I couldn't let him get away with after he wiped my base and after he turned shit Godzilla into a meatball. I will kill dog and I will tame Ghidorah, but to do that, I need stronger titans. Titans that can destroy Ghidorah and dog. You guys know who I'm talking about. That is going to be the end of this video. I hope you guys like this video. And this video has been such an amazing video for me to record. And if you guys like it, I will make another part 2, surviving 200 days in ARK. But anyways, I hope you guys like this video. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, leave a like, and peace.